Hey everyone, so I wanted to give an update about what's currently going on. I know last time I was giving, I guess, a progress report saying how I have, put job applications through and, still not hearing from unemployment. And, I look on their website and, each week that I put through for, the job searches and, for a claim for that week, they deny it because of what they had stated that, I left my job voluntarily, which was not accurate at all. And so every day I try to listen to God. I write down in my journal about what has went on that day, giving updates, and then I wait and I listen to what God tells me. And I try to follow exactly what he wants. And meanwhile, the food that I have left is slowly dwindling. I used the last bit of cereal that I had. I have, I believe, one banana left. I have some oatmeal left. And then I have a few eggs for breakfast. And I am running out of grape juice. And I usually use that for communion in the morning. And for dinner, I no longer have Hot Pockets. They're all gone. And I felt like if I was to ration those Hot Pockets out, it would be like a lack of faith, knowing that God, thinking that God's not going to come through. And so, I would usually have two per evening. And I'm sure it's not the best thing to eat, no doubt, but it's what was affordable. And so now they are all gone. Last night I had ramen noodles. I have a few packs that my son's mother had bought for him, but I have no choice but to eat them. So this morning, so far, I had the last bit of cereal. And in the afternoon, I usually have a banana. And then tonight, I'll have ramen noodles, unless God comes through. But I'm trying to watch my actions and my thoughts because I don't want one iota of my strength to be in the equation. I want to fully trust God. I don't know what's going to happen, what's going to come of it, but I don't want regrets. I want to fully walk in faith. And it would be so easy to list on Facebook my needs, letting people know what I'm going through. But then that would be like me depending on man, letting man know of my situation. That's what I did in the past. I let people know of my car situation and different others, and they came forth and, you know, helped me out. But was it my reliance on man or was it on God? That was the question. And so God knows my needs. I've heard of testimonies of other people, and it's not like I'm placing an expectation on God. But I've heard of testimonies where people were in need, and out of nowhere, somebody came and got them their needs. So God knows. He knows my heart. He knows that I want to fully depend on Him. So for me to post on Facebook exactly what I'm going through, what would my motive be? It would be to let people know because it would be my way out. It would be comfort. And I don't want that. I want my full dependence to be on God, like Elijah. He was at the brook, and God said that he would provide ravens to bring him his food. Now, if we look at the raven that Noah sent out, it never came back. So Elijah must have known about that, how undependable that they were. And that had to have caused, a struggle in faith, most likely. And, but God used the raven to bring him his food. And of course, we can get so comfortable in a certain place. Now, I'm sure once he started seeing the ravens come with the food, he got comfortable because he had food and then he had a brook. But then the brook dried up. So he must have been like, well, how am I going to survive, being here? And then God tells him, go to this widow and she will provide for you. So God brought him there. And, it was another whole new level of faith that he had to walk in. And so as we start walking towards God and dependence on him, he will show us new levels in our trust that needs to be worked on until we get to that place of full faith in him. And so, with the few packets of ramen I have left, I'll have that for dinner. But then, what will happen? And, God knows my needs. And I just want to make sure that I'm not stating my need for anybody so that my dependence is on man. And I know God will take care of me. And it's a step-by-step thing. He had come through in the past. Like the money God blessed me with to fix my old vehicle, if I would have paid for the entire thing, which I did, I wouldn't have anything left for food, which I didn't. So I walked in faith. I went to church believing that God was going to do something. And so I went to use the bathroom. I came out and a brother pulled me to the side and he said, someone gave this to you. And I didn't bother to look into the envelope right away. I went into the car and eventually found that it was $500. So God took care of my needs regarding food. But right now, as of now, nothing has happened. And it reminds me of what Graham Cook said. He said, God allows in his wisdom what he can easily prevent by his power. So there's a reason why I'm going through what I'm going through. And what I have learned is that exact thing of taking my strength out of the equation, my reliance possibly for other people to come through for my needs. He's checking my motives. And so he wants to make sure that I'm walking in full faith towards him and not on any man. So I'm going to wait and see what he does. Jesus said, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has enough worries of its own. Who knows what God will do? But I just want to make sure that on my part that I'm walking in full faith for what he wants. And he's going to work the whole situation out. And either way, I'm going to give him glory because he's always been good to me. He has taken care of me. And all of this is just a test. And I just want to make sure that I'm passing this test, not complaining, not pointing the finger at God, because why would I do that? I know he is love and everything he does is out of love. So I know that I will look back on these videos and see the progress and see what I have learned. And I'm praying that everyone that not only reads my books, but sees these videos would be encouraged that God will take care of them, just like He has taken care of me. So I just wanted to give you that update. Thank you for taking the time to watch.